The power of calmness. We've all heard it before. Hustle harder, grind longer, and push through every obstacle that stands in your way. Society has convinced us that the only path to success is paved with stress, anxiety, and endless effort. But what if I told you that this constant chase is actually the very thing holding you back? What if I told you that everything you truly desire, peace, success, love, fulfillment, comes to the person who can stay calm while the rest of the world is spinning out of control? This isn't just another motivational slogan. It's a timeless truth. A truth that has been passed down through the ages by Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. True power doesn't come from frantic energy or constant striving. It comes from the ability to remain still, to maintain your inner peace, and to stay grounded no matter what chaos is happening around you. In a world that glorifies busyness and rewards those who seem to never stop, the Stoics remind us that the calmest person in the room is the one who holds the true power. They're the ones who don't need to rush, who don't need to force things. Their quiet strength comes from within. They embody the energy of peace, and in doing so, everything they desire finds its way to them. In this video, we're going to explore how you can tap into this incredible power of calmness. It's not about doing less or being passive. It's about understanding how to align your energy with the flow of life, so that success, peace, and abundance come to you effortlessly. So take a deep breath, let go of the pressure to hustle, and discover the power that comes from simply relaxing and trusting the process. Part 1. Energy over effort. We've been conditioned to believe that success comes from hard work, endless hustle, and constant effort. Everywhere we look, we're told to push ourselves to the limit, to grind until we can't anymore, to keep fighting no matter how much it takes. But what if I told you that all of this hustle might actually be working against you? The Stoics teach us that true power doesn't come from effort. It comes from the energy we bring to every situation. Think about it. When you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and stressed, how effective are you really? Often, we mistake effort for progress. We think that by exerting ourselves continuously, we're bound to get results. But the truth is, the more effort we put in, the more we drain ourselves. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter, by aligning your energy with your purpose. Energy, not effort, is what makes things happen. Imagine trying to run a marathon by constantly sprinting. It might feel like you're doing more, but in the long run, you'll burn out. The same applies to life. If you're constantly trying to force things, you'll only create resistance. Instead, when you relax, focus on what you can control, and move with intention, the universe aligns itself with your energy. When you relax, you tap into a natural flow. It's like a river. When you try to swim against the current, you exhaust yourself. But when you allow the water to carry you, you glide effortlessly. Stoicism isn't about passivity. It's about calm, controlled energy that works in harmony with life. By choosing to approach life with calmness, you stop fighting against it and instead allow it to work with you. The power of stillness is often underestimated. In a world that prizes movement and noise, stillness is a form of strength. When you stay calm and grounded, you can see the bigger picture. You don't react impulsively to every little setback. Instead, you take a step back, breathe, and assess the situation clearly. This stillness allows you to make decisions from a place of clarity, not panic. Your energy creates momentum, not your effort. The more you focus on being centered and calm, the more momentum you build. Life responds to your energy, not your frantic attempts to control everything. When you trust the process, when you surrender your need for control, you begin to magnetize opportunities to you. That's the magic of relaxed energy. It's magnetic. So how do you cultivate this energy over effort mindset? First, you need to shift your focus. Instead of focusing on doing more, focus on how you feel while doing it. Ask yourself, am I at peace? Am I acting with intention? When you bring peace to your actions, you'll find that results begin to come effortlessly. It's not about trying harder. It's about finding balance, releasing resistance, and allowing things to unfold. Energy is the key to effortless manifestation. When you operate from a place of peace, you start to attract everything you desire. Peace isn't passivity, it's strength. It's the confidence that no matter what happens, you can handle it with calm and clarity. This is the true power that Stoicism teaches. The ability to stay steady, no matter the storm around you. In the end, it's not the effort that gets you to your goals. It's the energy you put into every action. If you focus on your energy, the effort becomes almost irrelevant. The more relaxed and aligned you are with life, the more effortlessly everything will flow toward you. Part 2. Relaxation. The path to alignment. In today's world, relaxation is often seen as a luxury, something you can only afford once all the work is done. But in reality, relaxation is not a luxury. It is the foundation for alignment and true success. Without relaxation, we cannot access our full potential. Without it, we remain disconnected from ourselves and from the flow of life. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that stillness, calmness, and relaxation weren't signs of weakness, but instead powerful tools to navigate a chaotic world. Relaxation is not the absence of action, it is the presence of clarity. When you are relaxed, you are fully present in the moment. You are not worrying about what happened yesterday or stressing over what might happen tomorrow. You are simply here, now, responding to life as it comes. It's in this state of relaxation that alignment begins to happen. When you are relaxed, your mind becomes clear, your energy is steady, and your actions are purposeful. This clarity enables you to make decisions with wisdom and confidence, rather than reacting impulsively to every challenge. In the midst of chaos, relaxation gives you the power to center yourself. Imagine a storm raging around you. Everything is chaotic and the winds are howling. In that moment, the only way to survive is to find a calm center, a place where you are grounded and unmoved by the external turmoil. This is the essence of Stoic relaxation. It's about staying anchored, no matter what's going on around you. When you relax, you regain control over your inner world. And when you control your inner world, you can navigate the outer world with grace and purpose. True relaxation is not passive. It's an active choice. It's about consciously letting go of the resistance inside you. The resistance that tells you to keep pushing, keep fighting, keep striving. Stoicism teaches us that life is full of challenges, but how we respond to those challenges is what defines us. Relaxation allows us to respond with wisdom rather than react in panic. It's a practice of surrender, not to the circumstances, but to the moment itself. When you let go of resistance, you allow life to flow through you, instead of fighting against it. Relaxation creates alignment with your true self. The more you relax, the more you become aligned with who you truly are. It's in this alignment that you can access your deepest power. When you're aligned, you don't have to force things to happen. They simply unfold. Relaxation isn't about waiting for something to come to you. It's about allowing what's already in motion to find its way to you. It's about being open, receptive, and attuned to the natural flow of life. When you relax, you stop fighting against the present moment. One of the greatest sources of stress and anxiety comes from our resistance to what is. We fight against reality, wishing things were different, trying to control outcomes that are out of our hands. But true power lies in surrendering to what is, without giving up. When you accept the moment as it is, you find peace. And from that peace, everything else flows. Relaxation allows you to stop the inner struggle, to stop forcing outcomes, and to let life unfold naturally. Relaxation isn't about doing nothing. It's about aligning your actions with your energy. You can work hard, strive for success, and pursue your goals. But if your energy is out of alignment, all the effort in the world won't bring the results you desire. Relaxation allows you to tune in to your inner state and make sure that your actions are in harmony with who you truly are. It's not about working harder. It's about working from a place of inner peace, clarity, and alignment. The key to manifestation lies in your ability to relax into the process. Many people believe that they need to fight for everything they want, that they need to force their desires into existence. But in Stoicism, we learn that manifestation is not about pushing harder. It's about aligning with the flow of life. When you're relaxed, you become magnetic. Your energy is steady, calm, and focused, which draws opportunities, people, and circumstances to you. This is the true power of relaxation. It's the gateway to alignment, and through alignment, you manifest everything you need. Relaxation is the path to becoming who you're meant to be. When you relax, you allow yourself to be present with your true essence. You stop trying to become something you're not, and you begin to embrace who you already are. In this state of relaxation, you access your highest potential. You stop fighting against yourself and start moving in harmony with the world around you. And in that harmony, you find peace, clarity, and the power to create the life you desire. Remember, relaxation is not a passive act. It is an active choice to align yourself with the flow of life. It is the choice to stop resisting, to stop fighting, and to start living with intention and peace. When you make relaxation a practice, you tap into your true power, and from that place, everything you desire will come to you effortlessly. Part 3. The difference between action and reaction. In life, we are constantly faced with choices. The most important of these choices is whether we will act or simply react. While action is deliberate, focused, and driven by purpose, reaction is often impulsive, unconscious, and fueled by external triggers. The Stoics understood the difference between these two responses and saw mastering the art of action, not reaction, as the key to inner peace and true power. Action comes from a place of control. It is rooted in clarity, intention, and self-awareness. When you act, you make a conscious decision to move towards something, whether it's a goal, a value, or a purpose. Action is always aligned with your higher self. It flows from your inner calm, your understanding of who you are, and your vision for the future. Every action you take is the result of careful thought, planning, and a commitment to living in accordance with your principles. Reaction, on the other hand, comes from a place of control being lost. When you react, you are allowing external circumstances to dictate your emotions, thoughts, and actions. A harsh word from a colleague, a stressful situation at work, or an unexpected setback can trigger a knee-jerk reaction. In these moments, your emotions take over, and your response is often based on fear, anger, frustration, or anxiety. Reactions happen automatically, without any real reflection, and they usually lead to outcomes that don't serve your long-term well-being. Reactivity is rooted in the belief that you are a victim of your circumstances. When you react, you give away your power. You become at the mercy of the people, events, and situations around you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, external events don't have power over you unless you allow them to. When you react impulsively, you're essentially saying, "I have no control." But when you act consciously, you're taking back that control. You choose how to respond, regardless of what's happening outside of you. The key to breaking free from the cycle of reactivity is self-awareness. The Stoics taught us that to live a virtuous life, we must first understand our inner world. This involves observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, and recognizing the moments when we are about to react rather than act. When you cultivate this level of self-awareness, you begin to notice the triggers that send you into a reactionary state. And once you recognize them, you have the power to pause, take a deep breath, and choose your response. Acting from a place of calmness allows you to respond with clarity. When you are calm, your mind is clear, and you can think rationally. You can consider the situation, weigh your options, and choose the best course of action based on your values, not on your emotions. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, responding to life with wisdom, not reacting out of fear or impulse. By acting intentionally, you shape your destiny rather than letting life dictate it for you. In every situation, you have the choice to act or react. The beauty of this choice lies in your power to create the outcome you desire. When you choose to act, you engage with the situation thoughtfully, with a sense of purpose and direction. You're not controlled by the circumstances. Instead, you take the reins and move forward with intention. But when you react, you let the situation control you, and you often find yourself caught in a cycle of stress, frustration, and regret. The difference between action and reaction is also about perspective. When you react, you often view the situation as a threat, something to be avoided or fought against. This creates a sense of urgency, a need to fight back, and a feeling of being overwhelmed. But when you act, you shift your perspective. You see the situation as an opportunity for growth, learning, and progress. You understand that challenges are a natural part of life, and you respond to them in a way that aligns with your values and goals. Action is a reflection of who you truly are. When you act with purpose, you align your behavior with your inner truth. You act from a place of integrity, guided by your core beliefs and values. This is the path of the Stoic, one who remains true to themselves, no matter the external pressures. On the other hand, Reaction is often a reflection of your fears, insecurities, and anxieties. When you react, you allow these negative emotions to cloud your judgment and influence your decisions. The power to act lies in your ability to remain calm and centered. In moments of chaos, when everyone around you is reacting in fear or panic, you have the ability to stay grounded. Your calmness becomes your strength, and from that strength, you take deliberate action. This is not about forcing outcomes or rushing through life. It's about moving with purpose, acting from a place of clarity and confidence. When you master the difference between action and reaction, you regain control of your life and create a reality that reflects your highest potential. Ultimately, the Stoic path is about mastering your inner world so that you can respond to the outer world with wisdom, clarity, and grace. Every situation in life offers an opportunity to choose. Will you react, or will you act with intention? By choosing action over reaction, you step into your power and become the creator of your own destiny. When you act from a place of calm, the world becomes your ally, and the obstacles in your path become opportunities for growth. Part 4. Surrender to what is. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the concept of surrendering to what is. In our fast-paced, goal-driven world, it's easy to get caught up in the desire to control every aspect of our lives. We strive to shape outcomes, force situations, and impose our will on the world around us. Yet the Stoics remind us that true peace and fulfillment come not from control, but from surrendering to what is beyond our control. This doesn't mean passivity. Rather, it's an acceptance of reality, a release of resistance, and a trust that we can navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Surrendering to what is begins with recognizing what is within your control and what is not. Life is full of uncertainties and forces beyond our influence: other people's actions, the weather, the passage of time. These are the things we cannot change, no matter how hard we try. The Stoics taught us that the key to living a life of peace and contentment lies in focusing our energy on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our responses. By letting go of our need to control the uncontrollable, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and frustration. Acceptance does not mean resignation or indifference. Surrendering to what is not about giving up or becoming apathetic. It's about embracing reality as it is, without judgment or resistance, while still taking thoughtful and deliberate action where it's possible and necessary. It's about accepting that challenges and setbacks are a natural part of life, and that we can learn from them, grow through them, and adapt to them. When we surrender, we no longer fight the current of life. Instead, we learn to navigate it with wisdom and composure. The act of surrender is not passive. It is a powerful shift in mindset. When you surrender to what is, you release the illusion that you can control everything. This allows you to experience life as it unfolds, with all its beauty and its struggles, without the constant tension of trying to impose your own will on every situation. By letting go of this need to control, you make space for true peace and acceptance to enter your life. You recognize that some things simply are, and fighting them only wastes your energy. Surrendering to what is also means embracing impermanence. One of the most important lessons of Stoicism is the understanding that everything is temporary. Our successes, our failures, our pain, and our joy. Life is a series of moments, each one fleeting, and we must learn to embrace them as they come. When we resist change or try to hold on to things forever, we create suffering for ourselves. But when we surrender to the impermanence of life, we can appreciate each moment for what it is, without clinging to it or fearing its loss. This awareness of impermanence frees us from the fear of the unknown, because we understand that everything is part of a larger, natural flow. Letting go of the need to control doesn't mean abandoning your goals or your dreams. It means releasing the attachment to specific outcomes and trusting that things will unfold as they should. The Stoics believed that we can pursue our goals with diligence and focus, but we must also accept that the outcome may not always align with our desires. Life has its own rhythm, and sometimes the path we think we should take isn't the one that leads to growth or fulfillment. By surrendering to the flow of life, we become more open to unexpected opportunities and lessons that we might have missed if we were too focused on a rigid outcome. In surrendering, we also surrender to the wisdom of the present moment. Too often we are caught up in the past or the future, worrying about what has been or what might be. But the present moment is all we truly have. When we surrender to the present, we fully experience the richness of life as it is. We stop resisting what's happening right now and start living with intention, purpose, and mindfulness. This practice of surrender allows us to fully engage with life instead of constantly striving for something in the future or lamenting something from the past. Surrendering to what is also means embracing the idea of non-attachment. We often attach our sense of happiness and fulfillment to external circumstances, our relationships, our career, our possessions. But when we do this, we set ourselves up for disappointment. These things can change, and when they do, we can feel lost or disillusioned. The Stoics taught that true happiness comes from within, not from external achievements. By surrendering our attachment to things, we free ourselves from the constant need for validation or success. We learn to cultivate inner peace, contentment, and joy, regardless of the external circumstances. Surrendering to what is doesn't mean becoming passive in the face of adversity. On the contrary, it means accepting that challenges will come and choosing to respond to them with wisdom, courage, and integrity. Life will always present difficulties, but by surrendering to what is, we stop fighting against them. We embrace them as opportunities to grow, learn, and refine our character. In this way, surrender is not about avoiding difficulty. It's about confronting it with grace and understanding. In the end, surrendering to what is allows us to live in harmony with the universe. It's about recognizing that there is a greater force at work and that we are part of a larger, interconnected whole. When we surrender, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, trusting that everything happens for a reason, even if we can't see it in the moment. We understand that our lives are not meant to be controlled or manipulated, but lived in accordance with nature's laws, with the wisdom of the Stoic philosophy as our guide. This surrender brings us peace, and it is in this peace that we find true freedom. Part 5. The Power of Presence. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy to get caught up in distractions. We are constantly bombarded with notifications, emails, and 1,000 things vying for our attention. Our minds are always racing, thinking about the past or worrying about the future. Yet the Stoics remind us that the greatest power lies not in our ability to plan or control, but in our ability to be fully present in the moment. The power of presence is the ability to engage with life as it is, without being lost in the noise of the world around us. The power of presence is rooted in mindfulness. It's the ability to be aware of where you are, who you are with, and what you are doing. In a world that constantly pulls us in 1,000 different directions, presence requires a conscious effort to slow down and engage with the present moment. Whether we're having a conversation, working on a task, or simply enjoying a cup of coffee, presence means being fully immersed in the experience, without allowing distractions to take us away from it. Being present is about focusing on what is right in front of you. When we live in the present, we are not preoccupied with past regrets or future anxieties. We are focused on the here and now, fully experiencing each moment as it unfolds. The Stoics believed that peace and contentment come from living in accordance with the present moment, rather than constantly striving for things that lie ahead. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only moment we can control is the one we are in right now. The power of presence is also about letting go of the need to control outcomes. So often, we are consumed with the idea of what we want to achieve, or how we want things to unfold. We plan, we strategize, and we worry about whether or not we will succeed. But when we are present, we let go of the attachment to specific outcomes and allow things to unfold naturally. This doesn't mean we abandon our goals or desires. It simply means we stop fighting for things to happen in a certain way. Instead, we accept the moment as it is and trust that the right outcomes will come when the time is right. Presence is the antidote to stress and anxiety. In our modern world, stress often arises when we become overwhelmed by the demands of life. We constantly feel the pressure to perform, to be successful, to live up to expectations. But when we are present, we remove ourselves from the cycle of stress. By focusing on the present moment, we free ourselves from the weight of future worries and the burden of past failures. We stop overthinking and start living, trusting that everything we need is already available to us in the here and now. Living in the present moment allows us to appreciate the small things. So often we rush through life, caught up in the pursuit of bigger and better things, that we fail to notice the beauty of the simple moments. The warmth of the sun on our face, the laughter of a friend, the taste of our favorite food. These are the moments that make life truly rich. When we are present, we learn to savor these experiences, appreciating them for what they are, without rushing to the next thing. The Stoics taught that true happiness comes not from external achievements or possessions, but from our ability to appreciate the present moment for its own sake. The power of presence enhances our relationships. When we are fully present with others, we are able to listen more attentively, respond more thoughtfully, and connect more deeply. How often do we find ourselves distracted during conversations, thinking about what we're going to say next, or checking our phones? When we are not truly present, we miss the opportunity to engage with others in a meaningful way. But when we give our full attention to those we are with, we create space for genuine connection and understanding. Presence allows us to be there for others, to support them, and to experience the richness of human connection. Being present also allows us to face challenges with greater clarity and calm. Life is full of obstacles and setbacks, and it's easy to become overwhelmed when we are caught up in fear or worry. But when we are present, we can respond to challenges from a place of clarity and wisdom. We are not clouded by anxiety or stress. Instead, we approach each situation with calmness and composure. The Stoics taught that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. By being present, we empower ourselves to make decisions based on reason and virtue, rather than on emotional reactions or impulsive desires. The power of presence is a practice that requires discipline and mindfulness. It is easy to get distracted by the noise of the world, but the Stoics remind us that we have the power to choose where to direct our attention. Every moment is an opportunity to practice presence, to ground ourselves in the here and now, and to let go of distractions. This practice can be challenging at times, but the more we cultivate the power of presence, the more natural it becomes. With time and effort, we can train our minds to remain focused, calm, and engaged, no matter what life throws our way. Ultimately, the power of presence is the key to living a meaningful and fulfilling life. It allows us to experience life to its fullest, to appreciate each moment, and to navigate challenges with grace and wisdom. By embracing the present, we free ourselves from the burdens of the past and the anxieties of the future. We become more attuned to the world around us, more connected to ourselves, and more in tune with the natural flow of life. The Stoics understood that the only way to truly live is by being present, for it is in the present moment that we find peace, purpose, and true happiness. Conclusion: trust in your path. In a world full of distractions and uncertainties, the Stoic philosophy reminds us of one profound truth. We must trust in our path. The journey of life is not always linear or predictable. It's filled with challenges, unexpected twists, and moments of doubt. Yet the Stoic approach encourages us to embrace these uncertainties with a calm and trusting heart. To trust in our path is to have faith in the process of life, knowing that every experience, good or bad, is part of a larger, meaningful design. Trusting your path requires surrender. It's not about forcing things to unfold in a certain way, nor is it about constantly striving for outcomes that may not align with what is truly best for us. Rather, it's about accepting where we are, embracing the present moment, and trusting that life will unfold as it should. The Stoics understood that there are things beyond our control, and it is in the acceptance of these things that we find peace. By surrendering to what is, we allow ourselves to be guided by a deeper wisdom, one that transcends the need for constant struggle or resistance. Trusting your path means letting go of the need for perfection. So often, we find ourselves trapped in the pursuit of an idealized future, one that we believe will bring us happiness or fulfillment. But the Stoics teach us that perfection is an illusion. Life is messy, unpredictable, and imperfect. By trusting in our path, we release the pressure to have everything figured out and embrace the beauty of the journey itself. It is in the imperfections, the detours, and the lessons along the way that we grow and evolve. In the end, trust in your path is rooted in belief. It's the belief that, even in the face of hardship, you are exactly where you need to be. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What happens to you is what is happening to you right now in this moment. All that is needed is to accept it." To trust your path is to understand that the challenges you face, the moments of struggle, and the unexpected turns are all part of your unique journey. It's about trusting that you are being shaped by life in ways that are beyond your immediate understanding. The path may not always be clear, but if you remain present and patient, the answers will come. Trusting in your path also means believing in your own resilience. The Stoics had a deep understanding of the human capacity to endure and adapt. They believed that within us all lies the strength to face adversity and rise above it. Life will present challenges, but each of those challenges is an opportunity to grow stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with our true selves. By trusting in your path, you acknowledge your own strength and the ability to navigate whatever life brings your way. Trust is the cornerstone of peace. When we trust in our path, we free ourselves from the constant anxiety of needing to control everything. We stop fighting against the current of life and instead flow with it. This acceptance doesn't mean giving up on our goals or dreams. It means embracing the journey with grace and patience, trusting that in time we will get where we need to be. The Stoics teach us that peace is found not in control, but in surrender. Trusting your path means allowing life to unfold as it will, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be at this moment. So, let go of the need to force or predict the future. Instead, focus on the present moment, trust in the process, and embrace the unfolding of your journey. Life is not a race, nor is it a destination. It is a series of moments to be experienced and learned from. By trusting your path, you allow yourself to live fully in each of those moments, knowing that you are guided by something greater than yourself. The Stoics remind us that every step on our path is part of a greater whole, and by trusting in it, we can move forward with peace, purpose, and confidence. In trusting your path, you trust in the wisdom of life itself. When we align ourselves with the flow of life, when we let go of the need to control and simply trust, we find the freedom to be at peace with who we are and where we are. Trust in your path, for it is uniquely yours, and it is leading you exactly where you need to be